guys, you're welcome to my channel. Today I want to provide a general solution to a question, and the question tells x to power of y equal y to power of x. This question is only true, that is, this equation is only true for an integer of x equal to or y also equal to, or you say x equal 4, y equal what? 2, and vice versa. So if x also equal 2 and y equal 4, you still arrive at what? Solution. But other than this, I'm yet to see a solution to this particular question. But for those that might have interest in checking for more solution for this question, probably a rational value instead of this, are we together now? You can now use this general formula that I want to generate for it. I'll first of all recall that if we have f of x equal x e to power of x, and this equation I'm about to prove here is called Lambert product log. It's called Lambert W function rather, or you call it product log. Therefore, Lambert W function of x is f inverse. Are we together now? So that is, if I take the Lambert W function of both sides, the inverse will cancel this f, and my result is just going to be what? X. That is, the W function of f of x equal the W function of x e to power of x, and x will just equal W x e to power of x. Do we get this now? So that's that, and we're going to be applying that here. So how do we go about this? The first thing we need to do is that we should try and make all variables to be in one side. So when we work on making all variables to be in one side while all constants to be in one side, then we will be able to what? Apply this particular product log. Are we together? So let's quickly see that. So x to power of y equal y to power of x. I can write x as e to power of natural log of x to power of y. Are we together? And this is just equal y to power of x. According to the law of logarithm, this will be e to power of y ln x equal y to power of x. For me to cancel this x, I'll multiply both sides by the reciprocal of this x. Then I will have e to power of y ln x all over x. And this equal what? This will equal y. Are we together? Because I multiply both sides by the reciprocal of this. So this will become 1. So for me now, to take away this y to this other side, all I just need to do is to multiply both power by -1 for simplicity's sake. Okay, for simplicity's sake, I'll multiply by -1. This one will become 1 over y. Multiplying both sides by y will make this equation to become y e to power of -y over x ln x equal 1. Are we getting this now? Now, for me now to apply Lambert W function, what I have here as power of e must also be the same thing that I will be having here, right? But here now, I'm having y here, but here I'm having -y over x ln x. To achieve that, I'll multiply both sides of the equation by negative ln x over x. So I'll be having -y over x ln x e to power of -y over x ln x equal negative ln x over x. So by the time we do that, we can see that what we have here now is the same thing as what we are having here. Good. If that should be the case, I can then say the W function of both sides, that is -y over x ln x e to power of -y over x ln x equal the W function of negative ln x over x. Are we together? Therefore, this will just become -y over x ln x equal the product log of negative ln x over x. So having got these results, the next thing for me to do now is to make either y or x the subject of the formula. But I would like to make y the subject of the formula. Therefore, I will multiply both sides of the equation by negative x over ln x. So if I do that, I will have that y equal negative w function of negative ln x over x multiplied by x all over ln x. Are we together? The reciprocal of this one is what we use to multiply both sides so that it can ln x can cancel x and x can cancel this x. So y will stand on its own. Good. So the general solution is now y equal negative x divided by ln x, then the w function of negative x over x. This is going to be the general solution. Do we understand this now? Good. And this will guide us by letting us understand that the product log is not always having one solution. It's used to have more than one solution if we check our Wolfram Afram very well. Are we together now? So you can use Wolfram Afram to find whatever result you are looking for on product log. So let's quickly look at the second section of this class, and that is to solve a question as suggested by a subscriber. So a subscriber suggested that we should find the value of x if 4x equal 2 to the power of x. How can we find this? If I decide to take the log of both sides, my brother, my sister, we are not going to leave this place. And we might not get the value for x. Why can't we apply the product log just like we proved now? Let's see if that is achievable. The first thing we need to do before we can apply a product log is to let all variables to be in one side and all constants to also be in one side. And that can be achieved by saying divide both sides by 2 to the power of x. 4x divided by 2 to the power of x equal 1. Now, we are having a constant 4 here. Remember, 2 to the power of x is not a constant. So 4 is a constant here. I can divide both sides by 4. I will have x divided by 2 to the power of x equal 1 over 4. Having got this, I can then rewrite this part of the equation as x multiplied by 2 to the power of negative x, and this equal 1 over 4. So if this is what I have, I can rewrite this as x multiplied by e to the power of the natural log of 2 to the power of negative x. This is the same thing as this. Are we together? And this equal 1 over 4. Now, according to the law of logarithm, this can come down here. I have x e to the power of negative x ln 2 equal 1 over 4. So I'll continue here. Now, if you look at something now, we already have the whole variable to be in one side, and the constant is also in one side. Now, for us to apply the product log, we must let what the power here likes be the same thing as what we are going to have here. If I recall that the product log, if I have that f of x equal x e to the power of x, then the product log of x is equal to f inverse. Therefore, if I take the product log of f of x, that is both sides of this equation, like this, my result is going to become what? X equal the w function of x e to the power of x. So this is what we want to achieve, guys. Let's see how we can achieve that here. Okay? To do that, I can multiply both sides by negative ln 2. So I will have that negative x ln 2 e to the power of negative x ln 2 equal negative ln 2 divided by 4. So it shows that we multiply both sides by negative ln 2. Sorry, it's a slip of tongue. Since we have x here before, the only thing we need to make this thing equal to this one is just to multiply by negative ln 2, which we have done now. Are we together? Good. We can then take the product log of both sides. So this will now be negative x ln 2 e to power of negative x ln 2 equal the product log of negative ln 2 over 4. Now, back to this place, where we take the w function of x e to power of x, our result is what? X. Therefore, if we take the product log of negative x ln 2 e to power of negative x ln 2, our result will be negative x ln 2. And this will in turn equal the w function of negative ln 2 over 4. Are we together? So, x that we are looking for is therefore equal product log of negative ln 2 over 4 divided by ln 2. So, let me write it here for us to see clearly. X equal negative product log of negative ln 2 over 4 divided by ln 2. And by the time you put this value on your Wolfram Afan, you can get the value for x. But one of the value for x, by the time you input this figure into your Wolfram Afan, one of your results should be 4. So if one of your results is 4, then if I put 4 here, I will have 4 into 4 equal 2 to the power of 4, and that will give us 16. So that's correct. Thank you guys for watching. I will be producing more mathematical fun equations and expression, and also some complex problem to you guys. Thanks always.